back to Paradox Computing's Introduction to ComputerCraft for Beginners. Welcome. So, today is episode 4, and we're going to get into if statements. Now, if statements are fairly simple. It's basically when you just want to say if something, do something, or if something else, do the other thing. So it's how the computer can make decisions based on different inputs, different situations. So let's get into how that works. So we're going to create a new file. We're going to call it if. So this is how you edit if, and this is an example of an if statement. Let's make the computer ask us for a password, and if the user puts in the right password, we'll let them proceed, or we'll give them a nice message. So let's do, how should I start this? Okay, let's define what the password's going to be. We'll start off with that. So now, that's why our password's going to be X. So that's a variable like we've dealt with before. The next thing is we want the computer to ask the user for the password, yeah? So we'll do, I'm just trying to think. We'll just write, instead of usually we'd use print, but I'll show you why we're using write in a second. Just for now, we'll use write. It does the exact same thing almost as the print command. And we're going to say enter password. Yeah. And then we're going to do a read. And what read does is read gets an input from the user. So read, when you put up the read, it knows that the user is going to enter something. So let's go pass. We'll just create a variable called pass, and pass is going to equal read. So at this point, the computer's going to stop and it's going to wait for the user to enter something. Now we can use our if statement. So if pass is equal to, and remember when you're doing, this is a comparator like before. When we were in the random number generator, we were looking for greater than or less than or equal to in the last episode. This is like another operator. So we do, if pass is equal to X, which is going to be ASDF, so that's our password. So we're checking if what the user has entered here at pass is equal to what the password is. Then come down the line, indent your code. This is just a nice little formatting thing. The script would still run if you didn't indent your code, but this is just so you can visually see what's going on. If pass is equal to X, then let's print on the screen correct. End. Now, that just in itself will run. So that's a very basic if statement. So we'll save that, we'll go exit, and we'll run if. Enter password, so we'll put in ASDF. Hit enter, correct. Ta-da! Now, if we put in the wrong password, nothing happens, okay? It still just keeps on going because we haven't told it to do anything else. All that's being told at the moment is if the password's correct, then go ahead and type in ASDF. I'll show you. So basically, as we've discussed about, in the last episode of the way the script runs, it's just going to run through here. We haven't told it to do anything else. If that's not true, it's just going to end the code. Otherwise, it's going to print that, then end the code. So at the moment, this isn't particularly useful, but it works. So that's something. Now, why did I put in write instead of print before? Well, this is just a handy little thing for when you're, getting users' input. If we have print there, what it should do is we've said enter password, and then it's prompting us for the password down here. So we go ASDF. Correct. But if we use write instead of print, it's prompting us for the password right there after we've said enter password, which is a lot cleaner. Yeah, it's a much nicer way to have it set up. So let's just put in the password. Correct. Cool. So, sorry, excuse me. Just choking slightly. It's all good. So we can also say, well, what if something else happens? At the moment, really nothing is happening if the user puts in the wrong code, or the wrong password. So we can now say, else. So, oh, that's not how you spell else. We can say else. Let's print up. So else is just anything else. If we got that, cool, do that. But if anything else happens, print up something else. And we're going to say wrong. So we'll just give the user a nice big, that was not right. Save, exit. And now if we run the if statement, we can say ASDF for our password. Correct. And now, oh, and if we put in the wrong thing, wrong. And guys, that's if statements. They are that simple. So let's edit if again. How can we make this perhaps more useful? Well, let's do something a little bit fun. That's really, oh, actually, let's just go one other thing. Say we wanted, like, we have a password that everyone was using, right? But what if, so that's that ASDF. What if, this is a public building and we want to have our own, like, secret master pass? So we'll say master pass, master pass equals, hi. Hi, so we're defining the string. So it's gonna be a string when we're comparing it. So x, we've got x is equal to ASDF. Well, whenever the user types something in on that read, it's gonna be saved as a string. Okay, so that's something I should have mentioned before. So we've got to make sure that when it's comparing, it's got to be a string. Because if we had just ASDF, well, that doesn't mean anything to the computer. It doesn't know, the computer doesn't know what ASDF just like that really is. So and when the user inputs the password, the computer's going to save that string, that input as a string. So if you tried to compare that to that, it's not going to mean anything. Thought I'd just clear that up. Anyway, so we're going to have our master pass set as high. So now we can say another if statement. Now you can have multiple ifs, but your first if is if, and your second if and every other if statement you add after that is is actually else if. So every other you can then put in as many of these as you want. We can have 100 else ifs coming in after that, but we really only just want one. So for now, yeah, just remember you can go if, but after your if statement, it's got to be an else if. And I'll try and show you why in a sec. I'll show you why it doesn't work if you put another if after that first if. Okay, else if. Let's just say else if, and I shouldn't have come down here quite yet. Pass is equal to master pass. That's what we call it, isn't it? Yep. Then you've always got to put a then in, and we're gonna say well, let's go print hello boss. So that's what's going to happen. So if you've got your master password, we can get to say something different to you. So let's try that. Save, exit, run if, and I've messed up if on line 11. Else if. Oh, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. Those double equal signs, man. Yep. So just always remember that. Define your variables with one equal signs. Do your operations, or when you're comparing stuff with two. Okay. So it's asking us for the password. So general user password. Correct. Wrong password. Wrong. And then let's run the master password, which I set to high, I think. Hello, boss. Ta-da! All right. Oh, come on. Edit if. There it is. We've been typing it fast. We've been faster to type it in. Um, okay. Cool, cool, cool. So that's an if, an else. Um, now ifs within ifs are very, very doable. I'm just trying to think of a way we can use an if within an if on this code though. Because we're asking for the password. I'm just trying to think. Um, oh man, I was trying to think of a good way to put an if inside. Uh, well, we could then say, hello boss, master pass, hello boss. Um, then we could say, let's write, um, how are you today? Actually, let's just change all of that. So we'll just go. Actually, do you guys want to just try this first? Because we've gone through a lot. So have a quick go at this. I'll just write back in what we say. Print hello boss. We've gone through quite a bit. So why don't you guys have a play around with that, see if you can make it work. Make sure you conscious of capitals, lower cases, correct operators or whatever here, and yeah, have a go. Enjoy. Put me on pause. Okay, welcome back. Okay, we're going on. So now let's just show how you use an if inside of an if. So we'll do right. G'day, boss. How's the weather? That's how you spell weather. I don't know. And we'll put that all in a string. Boos. G'day, Boos. How's the weather? Question mark. And then we'll put a space. Okay. Then we'll end the. Oh my god! Wow. And also forgotten some rather important things here. Okay, so inside the brackets, g'day boss, how's the weather? We'll get another read off the user, so this time we're going to say weather equals read, cool, and then we can do an if inside of an if. So we're going to say if, oh sorry, what am I doing? Weather equals, oh no, yeah, sorry, yeah, if. And this time, let's say we want to look for something, I don't know, like, okay, we'll say if weather is equal to, and we'll type in our string just here, good, then, and we're going to say print, so indent again, and this is where you can start to see indents becoming very useful. So we'll say if the weather's good, print good news. But then let's say we want, if anything else gets entered in, we'll say print, I don't much care for that. And end. So now let's have a look at all of that in context. So now we can see some real logic going on here. So we're going if the password is X. So if we get the right password, awesome. If we get the master password, the computer's going to interact with us a bit. It's going to ask us, "G'day, boss. How's the weather?" And then it's going to get another read off the user. So the user's going to enter another input, and then we're going to run another if statement. And it's going to be, so if the weather, the read we got from the user, is equal to good, then print Good news. I'm gonna put a capital in there. Else we're gonna, and then if the user puts in anything other than good, then it's gonna say, oh, I don't much care for that. Oh, I don't much care for that. Cool. So let's have a look if that's working. So we'll run if, enter the password. So we're going to put in the master password. Hi. G'day, boss. How's the weather? Good. Good news. Ta-da! So that is an if statement inside of another if statement. And you can see here that see how we've got if here? Well, this is why you've got to use else ifs, because once you put in another, every time you put in if, it's going to begin an if statement, or an if logic, comparison thing. And it's going to start a new one every time you put in if. Else if means that you're still making decisions at the same level as that first if. So that if, else if, and else are all going to work. So if we put in correct, it will, if we do on this first if we meet that condition, so we put in ASDF, the original password, it's just going to skip all this other stuff. It's going to print correct, and then it's going to skip all this stuff. But on this one, well, it's not going to meet that, so it's not going to do that. It's going to meet this one, so then it's going to do all this stuff and then run our other if statement, and then it's going to skip that bit and end. And so you get the idea of like the different levels of ifs, and that's why it's good to indent your code, so you can always see which statement's running and what's in scope of this, yeah, of that statement. So I hope that made sense. So let's run if again. Let's type in the wrong password. Nope. Let's type in the right password. Correct. And let's type in the master password. Hi. Very secure. How's the weather? Bad, man. I don't much care for that. Ta-da! So yeah, that's pretty much how we do on if statements. So have a play around with that. See if you can get the computer to ask you different things, have different responses perhaps, put in different passwords, different levels of passwords. One quick little thing I'll add on to that is, let's just say if it's correct, now this is how you can get computers to start interacting with the world. Rs.set output, let's say right, comma, true. This is the Redstone API. This line I've just put in here. And basically what it's going to do is, RS means redstone. You can also type in redstone and it will work. But RS is just a hell of a lot quicker to type in. And what this is going to do is it's going to set an output on the computer, on a side that we've told it. So the side's going to be in a string, and it's going to set it to true. So for example, let's just grab ourselves a door. Iron door will do. And we'll just put in a sleep. So it's setting true. So basically what it's doing is it's setting the redstone output on the right to true or on. And we'll say sleep for 3 seconds, and then we'll go rs.set output right, comma, right, and we're going to say false, which means turn it off. All right, so we'll save that, and we'll run if, enter the password. If we put in the correct password here, which was ASDF, door will open for 3 seconds, then apparently crash. Temp to call nil on 13. rs.set put. Wow, that must have been painful for you guys to watch. Sorry. Okay. If ASDF, correct, and that should now close. There it is. So if you put in the correct password, the door ASDF. Whoops. If ASDF Bam. So that's an example of how you can use an if statement to create a password that will open a door. Ta-da! We'll get into the Redstone API and all the different little things that you can attach to computers very, very soon. You're going to start learning how to do fun, useful things. Guys, thank you for watching. Have a go with this script. I'll just delete some of this stuff so you can see all of it hopefully on one screen. No, that's not going to happen. But here is everything. So just, pause and go through that. It's just print wrong at the end pretty much. Cool, guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, or don't, that's fine. I'm not that, precious. I'll just be crying myself to sleep, no worries. And I'll see you guys next time. Stick around.